Sentiment in crypto land is terrible right now. And it's surprising because Bitcoin hasn't even done that much for negative sentiment to creep in. Yes, we had one big candle come in on the 3-day chart, but only about 5%. That's a 5% dip, doesn't really mean much. And for the most part, on the high time frame structure, we are looking primed to continue moving towards the upside. I mentioned two liquidity zones on this chart, and as you guys can see, we tapped the first one to the T about $111,000, and then we got to rip up to the upside, and I thought that was going to be the one that sends us higher, but we got the rug pulled from under us and tapped the second liquidity zone. Do we stop here or go to collect 107,000 down there? Not sure, but one thing is for certain is that we are not looking bearish. In fact, we do want to see negative sentiment near all-time highs, because if we were euphoric and everyone was happy, then I would be worried. But the fact that people are talking about the end of the cycle, I really like seeing that at these prices. It means that we are most definitely going to head towards the upside. At least that's what I'm thinking. The only way I think we're going to take longer to consolidate towards the downside is if we break below $105,000. I don't really want to see us break below 105K, 106K I'll accept, but anything below this trend line right there, and I'll start to get a bit skeptical that this is going to be a short-term bump. So right now, what we're taking a look at is Ethereum stealing the market share away from Bitcoin, with Bitcoin dominance falling towards the downside, and Ethereum is actually looking stronger than Bitcoin right now. For Ethereum, I'm looking to target about 36 to 3,800 for a dump. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. If we do happen to dump, that's where I expect us to go. If we don't, then we're going to be breaking all-time high and heading for the undiscovered territory. So that'll be exciting for on-chain and alts as well, as people begin to go risk on and bet on their altcoins. And even though altcoins have been taking a little bit of a beating on individual charts, on the macro perspective, if we zoom out and just check out the sectors, we can see that they haven't really taken that much damage. Yes, a lot of alts are dumping, but if you're in quality alts, they're probably moving sideways or retracing a pump. Nothing too bad, because right now these sectors are holding up pretty well. And it's not just AI. If we take a look at total DeFi, we can see total DeFi is also holding up really well, as it's been trading sideways for the past 21 days. And memes have also been holding up for the past 21 days. You guys can see a sideways move for actually a month. There you go. So memes are holding up well, DeFi is holding up well, AI is holding up well. And not only that, but Ethereum is actually holding up better than Bitcoin. So even though the timeline might seem bearish, everything under the hood is looking great. And not only that, we go to the others chart and we check out the dominance. We can see volume has actually been increasing on the alts, which means there has been interest. And let me show you an example of why this is bullish. If we just take a look at the total DeFi charts, we can see when volume began to increase here, we got a major move towards the upside that took about 100 days to come to life. So that's what we're seeing right now on the others chart. We can see volume starting to pick up like we saw in DeFi. So volume precedes price. And this is a good sign that we're seeing volume pick up on the others chart. So like I said, even though sentiment is at all-time lows, the charts are saying that we are gearing up towards a move towards the upside. And right now, my focus is on Base more than Solana. I think Solana has had its time in the sun, especially in 2024. But now it's time for Base to take over, especially within the Virtuals ecosystem. Virtuals is currently coiling up in a wedge, and I do expect this wedge to break towards the upside and head towards $3.2. And it's going to lift up the quality virtual agents along with it. One of which you guys already know, I've talked about on this channel, is Santa. A lot of people aren't aware of it, but Santa is building infrastructure that is critical to virtuals. And you guys can even see venture capitalists here investing in Questflow, which has built out Santa. And they've mentioned the agent economy is missing its TCP IP. We think Questflow is building it, orchestrating agents, handling payments, and creating trust. This is the layer that turns AI from a set of siloed tools into a true economy. Proud to be backing them alongside Cyberfund. So these are two VCs backing up Questflow, which is building out Santa. And let me just show you this connection in case you guys don't understand how they're connected. So you guys can see Santa stands for Swarm of Autonomous Network Task Agents. It's not a meme coin. It's an actual project. And you can see powered by Virtuals, innovated by Questflow. So they're actually building a project. And this is just one coin that I have taken an interest in, where I think it's going to benefit massively from Virtuals going on a run along with the AIXPT. But one thing we want to see here is for the market cap USDT dominance to keep going down. And we have rejected off the trend line. If we can keep rejecting and actually break below 4%, that would be extremely bullish for altcoins as people rotate from USDT into altcoins. Back in 2021, we went as low as 2.59%. So I would raise that a little bit, as I don't think we're going to see the same target as we did in 2021. In fact, we've been going higher and higher as time has gone on. So I would expect us to go a little bit higher to about 3.10%. I think that would be fair. So that's another 26% drop to the downside. And then we can stay there ranging like we did back here for about 3 months. So this is what we're looking for as the game plan for altcoins. We have our checklist and we're just waiting for it. Bitcoin dominance needs to keep going down. Ethereum should break up to the upside. AI, DeFi, and memes should break up to the upside as well. So we're expecting all that to happen at the same time because that would be some of the best signals we could get from the market. There's really not much else to do. Simply looking for projects that are undervalued is the name of the game here, because this is the time where you want to buy undervalued coins. You don't want to buy them when they're pumping. Your returns are less, your risk is higher. So if you want to invest and make any purchases right now, now is the time to do it while the market is semi-depressed. So make sure you're out there hunting for opportunities while prices are suppressed, and then make sure to sell the rips once Ethereum goes on a generational run this cycle, as we begin to unload our bags to get ready for the next cycle and buy everything 90% cheaper to ride it all the way back up again. We've got a long time till then, so I'll keep updating you guys with what's new in the market. But until that time, we just have to make sure we're holding quality projects and make it to the next one. So with that said, guys, I'll see you on the next video.